All right, Steelers Nation, you know what we're doing over here, man. We're continuing on breaking down, the Pittsburgh Steelers 3-4 defense, or just the different assignments, or what the ask is for some of those players in their respective positions on this defense. So you know the drill. Hit that like button one time for the culture, and of course, don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. So in our previous video, we talked about the interior D linemen in the base 3-4 defense. So now, I figure we'll go to our linebackers, and specifically our outside linebackers. Obviously, when we're saying just linebackers in general in the 3-4 defense, right? As a whole, we know it's four of those guys out there. We talked about it, the two interior guys and the two outside linebackers, right? And for our defense, that's TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith / Nick Herbig, who's, been the guy playing of recently. And then at inside linebacker, Patrick Queen and Landon Roberts. So in terms of what we're saying the mindset is with a 3-4, we're telling you right now that we feel that the linebackers are the best part of our defense, or specifically our front seven. Instead of us having 4 D linemen, we're implementing 4 linebackers, taking one of those big guys off the field. And we talked about the mindset for the interior guys in the sense of their job is to clean it up for the LBs, because we feel that in the 3-4, your linebackers are your playmakers. So typically when you look at the outside linebackers, that's why they get the sacks, the TFLs, and typically they get the nicer contracts, right? Because it's designed for those guys to flourish. It's designed for your inside linebackers to be some dudes, man, they could be productive. And that's why you will even see some of the guys that have played here in our defense, some of the success that they've been able to have. But quickly, from an alignment standpoint, man, when you're talking about your outside linebackers, like I said, man, one guy, well, if we're just saying a regular, sending both of those guys, man, they're both going to be lined up widest, guy on the line of scrimmage, man, in the sense of the core guys. So if there's a tight end, typically you would want that guy, the outside lineman, could be outside of him, because he's your force player. He's the guy that's going to set an edge to the interior part of your defense. So guys like Cam Hayward and Keanu Benton can run to the football and make a play, right? They got to pull it up. Now, the flip side is when it's pass rush, those are also the guys, their job is designed to go and get it, right? And they got to be the guys that are versatile enough to play the run, but also be able to drop in coverage and rush that passer at a high level. Like we said, we want versatility. We want playmakers at those spots. At the inside linebacker spot, that's the captain. That's the guy that has to call out everything, make sure that the front of the defense is in order, along with making sure that coverage-wise behind them we're all on the same page. So for the inside linebacker, typically you'll hear us reference the green dot, Patrick Queen, right? The green dot guy. Meaning on the back of his helmet, a little green dot, signifying that he has the microphone to communicate with the coach on the sideline. And from there, he's the guy that echoes those calls and sentiments from the coach, but also he's the guy that is the end all be all voice. If he calls this, we don't have to agree with it, but if he called it, we're playing it. That's the inside linebacker, because he's centrally located, so he can talk right and left. Whereas for outside linebackers, they're typically have a man in, because they're already on the edge. They don't typically have to be squared up. That's why you'll see the sprinter-like stance, or that stagger in their stance, because everything is to the inside of them, depending on which side of the field they're on. Whereas that inside linebacker has to be able to go right and left, see out of both eyes. So just a little bit more of a challenge in that sense from a mental standpoint. But that 3-4 defense, man, you are telling everybody we got linebackers. We have linebackers that can make plays, and we feel like those are the guys that set the tone for us. That's why, as a guy that played in 3-4, you love it, because you're like, hey, man, it's on me, right? TJ Watt, when we have a great day, TJ Watt usually has a great day. When we have a great day, Cam Hayward usually has a great day, right? Highsmith and company. When those guys don't, we're like, man, we need a little bit more up there, right? But our linebackers, man, those are the guys that, like I said, man, they provide that splash. They provide the wave for us. So, like I said, that's kind of the mindset with that from there. In terms of the true techniques for your, depending on the call, one guy typically will be in the rush. One guy is typically dropping in coverage. That's how most base 3-4 defenses work. And from there, man, the guy that's going to be rushing typically is going to be lined up to a 7 or a 6 technique off of the tight end, meaning head up to slightly inside shade of that tight end. If it's just a tackle there, then you line up in that goes to 5 technique where you have a little bit more space, and now you're just kind of rushing off of the edge as a free defender. Now, on the flip side, if you're in coverage, hey man, a little bit different mindset, man. You got to be more outside of everything and getting ready to drop into whatever the respective call is. Can't give out all the secrets now, but that's typically, like I said, man, how a 3-4 base defense works. And obviously your inside backers, man, they're going to always or more than likely be lined up over the guards, right? Just obviously with about 5 yards depth so they can see it. And from there, man, they're reading, reacting, run versus pass and so forth. But like I said, that's the gist of the linebackers' responsibilities inside and outside when you're talking about that 3-4 base defense. So that way you guys can kind of understand what we're talking about. Then from there, it's obviously a whole bunch of little adjustments that you would have to, be a part of the black and gold organization for me to give you those secrets. Can't give you that just yet. Can't do that. I did see in the comment section, man, somebody had asked the three safeties, right? We talked about using three safeties at times. Where does that kind of show up and how does that impact our base defense? 3-4, so with the 3-4 defense, we talked about having 4 linebackers, right? 2 guys are really just rush guys. 2 guys are your coverage guys, the inside linebackers. So when it's obvious passing situations, or it's a situation where you feel like there's a higher probability for pass, but you still want to be respectable against the run, you're kind of hedging your bet. So you're looking to take off somebody, whether it is a D lineman, right? And now you go to that 4 down look where it looks like nickel, but instead of it being a slot cornerback that comes onto the field, now we're bringing a safety out there. So last year, I believe we were using DeMonte Casey, Terrell Edmonds, and Minka Fitzpatrick, because all 3 of those guys can cover. All 3 of those guys can play the run. They got good size on them, especially Edmonds, right? So you do that to offset the guessing game of, is it a run? But I feel like it's high probability pass, but they can still run the ball right here. That's why you go to that 3 safeties look, and that's why we've implemented it at times. And I do anticipate us bringing it back out again at some point this year, because it is a valuable weapon to you, especially when you got big safeties that can hit. Deshaun Elliott is a big safety, right? Minka Fitzpatrick, good size on him. And then you still got guys that can cover. So that's the part where, yeah, that 3 safety look is very enticing at times, especially, man, when you're facing a team that likes to run the football or heavy play action, but they got some tight ends or some receivers that make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, you go with that 3 safeties look, man. But like I said, man, let me know any other questions you guys might have as it pertains to the defense, man. The different X's and O's of it and the different assignments. But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, baby, peace.